Recently, I've had a chance to talk with one of the top-rated players in Korea, mainly on his thoughts on the current meta and classes. This game, unlike a majority of others, has its meta change and shift almost on a weekly basis. Let me quickly mention once more that the balance changes in this game change a lot. Keep that in mind when deciding class. Let me also mention that this was originally not going to be for the purpose of a video, so there was some bouncing around in this discussion, so please bear with the fact that the structure of this interview, that was never really actually an interview to begin with, isn't really going to be the best. I felt that the information here was just too good to not upload. You can expect a class breakdown video that is structured and a little bit more visually appealing within the next week. If you don't want to miss out on that or any of my future Elyon videos and guides I plan on consistently uploading, like and subscribe on YouTube, as well as follow me on Twitch as I am live streaming 3 days a week. Schedule can be found on my Twitch page. What you're looking at right now are the PvP tier lists given from some of the top players from their respective classes in Korea. For example, number 1, Slayer, is one of the top Slayer's opinion on what he believes the current tier list is. He believes tier 1 is Elementalist, followed by Warlord and Slayer being in tier 2, and everyone else being in tier 3. Now with that, in this video, we are going to be talking about the strengths and weaknesses of every single class in all aspects of the game, in where Dex would put it on his own personal tier list. Dex, aka Jinx, is a player from the Korean servers and is a top-rated player that has been ranked inside the top 15 in both seasons, as well as the top 10 in the arena rankings. Fortunately for us, he speaks great English, which makes my life a lot easier, seeing as you can hear it from him directly instead of translated from me. Being a top player, he's obviously formed relationships with other top players from their respective classes and shares his insight. So without further ado, here we go. So if we're talking about current balance, what would be your opinion of it? This is a guy that's in the rankings in Korea.
You mean only PvP, right?
Yeah, PvP. And let's talk about open world PvP and arena PvP separately. So let's talk about honor score. So more open world and farming honor.
Okay, let's talk about the open PvP. For the open PvP, I would say Warlord and Assassin.
Warlord and Assassin.
Assassin could do stealth and kill everyone. And if they want to run, they just run it. So I'll just pick open PvP Assassin at the top, tier 1. Tier 2 Warlord, that's a second, because Warlord could smashing everyone for this meta.
Right.
And for arena, I'll pick Warlord as a tier 1.
Warlord's tier 1.
Tier 2 Slayer and Mystic. Tier 3 is Elementalist. Tier 4 Gunner. Tier 5 Assassin.
Okay, in arena. So why would you put the bottom 2 tiers? Why would you say that they're down there? Because it's interesting, right? Because Assassin is you would say tier 1.
Yeah,
in
tier 1 in
world,
open world. Yeah.
But bottom tier in arena.
Bottom tier in the arena, because arena has a small space, and you couldn't run as far as you can. And the meta has changed. Assassin was super OP in the season 1, but this is season 2. They changed all the mana tree and they changed all the skills, Zebra, and that makes Assassin as worse. And that Zebra tree makes Warlord and Slayer Mystic as the god tier right now. So
the fact that the nerfs came for Assassin, they got nerfed. That indirectly buffed Warlord and Slayer. Is that
if you press the H, there's a separate tree.
Yeah. So the changes were from this tree, the mana tree. Yeah.
For season 1, Assassin has a really benefit for that. They can infinitely shift. They can infinitely invade, so they can just kill everyone. And they have a lot. Yeah, there's lots of shield, and the damage is really OP, so they can kill everyone. That's why the honor point. That's why the Assassin has top 10 or top 20. That's the reason why Assassin has lots of people in there, because they kill everyone in season 1.
Right, gotcha. Yeah, that makes sense. So What about open world? Can you talk about that again? I know you already kind of explained it, but you say assassin you feel like is top tier in the open world. Why?
Because of the open world, people just farming, right? People don't like PvP in the open world. I mean, some people like it, but most people are just farming in there. So I'm playing assassin, so for assassin, just do stealth mode and go back to him or her and just like spam skill, and that player just dead because he's wearing the PvE gear, right?
Right, gotcha.
Yeah, the gear is a big difference.
Gotcha. So you gank someone in their PvE spec because they're grinding, and then you just farm that honor like crazy.
And the most honors are from open world, so that's why like assassin is really easy to grind in the honor point. So they can just kill it and just run it.
Gotcha. Okay, that makes sense. So I'm looking at this arena. What is Arena of Honor 3v3?
3v3. Oh, that's a different mode. Like, that's a new mode for the arena, but the map is same.
Okay.
But you can only meet the enemy region.
You can only
for the enemy. You see the red and blue one, right? So if you're in the blue side, you can only meet the red side people.
Oh, okay. You can't fight people in your own faction. Gotcha. Okay, all right. The regular arena for 3v3, you can fight anyone.
You can fight anyone. Yeah.
Gotcha. So, a lot of people. All right, so let's debunk a few myths here. Like, I'm literally looking at a gunner that's ranked #1 in arena 3v3. Now, a lot of people, for some reason, are under the impression that this class specifically. And not that it matters. It doesn't matter because the meta is always changing constantly anyways. But again, if we're just talking about this meta, why are there so many people that think Gunner is trash? And what would be your opinion on that class?
As I said, like for Arena, I said Gunner as the tier 4, right? And Gunner doesn't have the high DPS in the...
Let me know what questions you want to ask. I got you.
Or like something else, like, and how can I say? And there's a one-man dungeon. You can get the loot from like 1 to 50 floor, and Gunner is the hardest class to clear the 50th floor. That's why people keep saying like Gunner is a trash class.
They say it's a trash class because you can't clear the 50th floor in a PvE instance.
I mean, like easily, like
right.
But honestly, every class could clear 50 floor easily, like. But that has nothing to do with PvP though, right? But as I said, the separatory, like separatory is not really good for Gunner and Assassin. So I think that's the reason people keep like telling the Gunner is a trash class.
Okay, why is this not good for Gunner?
For the yellow tree, for the yellow tree, season 1 they have a stamina restore, but they deleted it.
Okay, so they lost stamina restore from season 1. Were they top tier in season 1?
Not the top one. I would say top 3. Top one is a sin, definitely.
So the stamina really hurt them.
Yeah.
Okay, so what would you say the basic strengths are for Gunner and the basic weaknesses? Like if you were really to just try to explain it without like specifically talking about a specific mechanic and a skill, but just generally speaking, if you're gonna tell someone that's just getting into the game, basic strengths and weaknesses for it.
Well, honestly, Gunner is really strong. They have a strong CC. Okay. You cannot cleanse, and there's a 3 class that you can combo, like a BDO. I haven't played BDO, but there's a combo: Slayer, Warlord, and Gunner. And Gunner has a really high DPS in the PvP. So so Slayer, Warlord, and Gunner have wombo combos. They have combos where they could really dish out. Okay. So they have a strong. Okay, so they have strong ability to CC, strong comboing potential. And I'll say weakness is the defense and the HP. Maybe they could die easily, like I said.
Gotcha. So I'm taking it that because they had stamina nerfs, their defense and HP is kind of lacking, and you have classes like Warlord and Slayer that could be very in your face. Can't even CC them because, like, for example, Slayer could spec so that he has a lot of anti-CC upright, and he's just you're just constantly eating damage from him, and you can't do anything about it, right?
Yep.
Gotcha. Okay, so that to me, I feel like is a very clear example. So, like, again, if they were to nerf Slayer or Warlord, which is possible, right? Because I mean it's top tier, then that would directly buff Gunner's performance in the PvP meta, right? Gotcha. Okay. So, all right. So I want to kind of go through this real quick, if you don't mind. Do you have some time?
Yeah.
Okay, so like I would actually like to go through each class if you don't mind. Like, so like you play Assassin. Assassin is your class, right? And yeah, you play Assassin. So when you say you play Assassin, what would you say? Same thing. Basic weaknesses and strengths. What makes it strong? What makes it weak?
Just strong.
Outside of ganking, because obviously ganking is what makes it top tier in Honor Farm. Yeah.
Okay. Or just strength.
No, wait, we are. We're gonna skip this, but we're gonna have two prizes for the
I
next
would
hour.
say
Okay?
stylish and
Lenovo.
it's
Stylish?
still doable. Even they got huge nerf, but it's doable.
Okay, like in what way? Like, do they have pretty good damage, like top tier damage at least, or mobility, or movement, or like what makes it?
Oh, their movement is super good. I think. Assassin has the best movement for like shift. There's a distance for the shift, and Assassin has a longer shift.
Okay,
distance.
Gotcha.
And let's see. Damage is pretty much okay, and boss damage is pretty much okay. Not the top tier, but pretty much okay.
Okay, so to me it just sounds like okay, that makes sense. I mean, that makes sense why they would be considered bottom tier for Arena, right? Because like nothing special. They've got great movement, but they're not really putting out that much damage. You can't gank. And
I mean, the problem of the decision is people have the legendary gear, and it has a lot of defense. It has an extra stats rather than the purple gear, and because of the reason, also Sin couldn't do damage a lot. Before, gear is kind of equal, because all the people has a purple gear, but like only few people has a plus 12, plus 10, but most people has a plus 8. So like the gear was kind of equal, but right now, people have a lot of legendary. They upgrade like purple to legendary, and they have a lot of defense, like a Warlord and Slayer. They have over like 2k defense, which means the damage reduction is kind of 70 to 80%.
Ooh.
And the HP difference is really huge. Like a Warlord Slayer is like a 10k HP difference.
Even at the same gear level?
Yeah.
Really? So Slayers and Warlords scale very well as they get gear then. Compared
if you see the trademark, can you see the trademark?
Yes. Which
can you just see?
Can I what?
Oh, you have to see. Yeah. Let me see. Should be there. Press the FC. Oh, where is it? Trade exchange. Oh, go to exchange.
Maybe to look up.
Yeah, and there's a class selection. If you select the Warlord or Slayer.
Warlord.
Yeah, that's the Warlord. Yeah. So, for example, if you see the purple gear on the top, there's a helmet, right?
Yeah.
And can you mouse click on that? So, if you see the physical defense and magic defense, right? It's like it has like 270 and 205.
Yes.
And if you see the assassin or elementalist, it has a lower. That's assassin. Yeah, got the proper gear. Oh, that helmet is okay.
Oh, this is Warlord. Sorry.
This
is Warlord.
Assassin. Yep. So the fifth one. So Warlord has a 270, right?
Yeah, 270.
And 270, but 235. That's a if you go to legendary, and if you could keep upgrading like plus 10, plus 8, the difference is really huge.
Okay, gotcha. So the scaling is off the charts.
Yeah, it's really huge.
Gotcha. But they have less magic defense though, right?
Yeah, that's why Warlord counter is kind of elementalist.
Oh, they get elementalist counters the
Warlord.
The Warlord, gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
So there are counters then.
There are counters, but honestly, if you play Warlord Slayer in this season, you can smash everyone.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha. So the gear is technically supposed to give a little bit more of an advantage to elementalists and casters and mystics, but it's not really.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that makes sense. So as far as the weaknesses of Assassin, I guess the same thing, right? Nothing special with the damage, and you can't gank, and the scaling of Assassin's gear isn't the best, and they got nerfed with their stamina and their iframe movement from the Sephiroth, from the mana tree, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's fair. Okay.
And I can send the PvP discussion we did in a week ago.
Mm-hmm.
All the like top tier like classes, say the tier list. So
PvP discussions, all top 20 server discussions.
Yeah.
Okay. What is this is
Oh wait. Let me get.
That's about Assassin PvP. Okay, so let me ask you before, like, we're gonna continue with this little tier list here, but before, let me just ask a couple questions real quick.
Okay.
I have some questions in the chat. PVE Assassin's PVE grinding mobs.
It's the worst.
It's the worst. I heard it got better.
Got better, but it's still worse. I would say worse.
By the way, gonna be recording this for YouTube content, so all of you guys that are following the stream, appreciate you guys. Okay, they're the worst. So they got recently buffed with PVE grinding.
They
but
got recently got buffed, but still worse.
But still worse. It's not good. What makes it bad? Just the fact that their damage output is just
damage is pretty much okay, but the targeting.
The targeting.
Targeting is a problem, because Assassin has a 7 as max, but compared to Elementalist, they have 15.
The amount of mobs they can pull or hit.
Yeah. Yep.
Gotcha. So it's just has everything to do with the amount of mobs that they can hit with each skill. Nothing to do with actually pulling mobs and grouping them in AOE and sizes.
Grouping Assassin is really weak.
Okay, they can't group very well, so they don't really have very good
they can
vacuums.
grouping, but it's slower. It's slower than other classes.
Gotcha. So they can't group as fast and they can't pull as much. Okay, so that's what. Gotcha. I don't see them being any good at PvE until they can at least pull the same amount of mobs as a different fucking class. That makes sense. Okay. All right. So we just talked about Gunner, Assassin. Okay. Let's talk about Elementalist then.
Okay.
So my understanding is that they are the gods of PvE, and they're just pretty decent at PvP. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, pretty god tier in the PvE and the bossing. Bossing is really huge. And for the Elementalist, it depends on the rune. You know, Elyon has a rune system.
Yes.
And if you click the rune, there
Yep.
should be orange.
Yep.
There's an orange rune on there. And
Yep.
if you got the 48 orange, the elementalist, I would say the top tier.
If you
But-
get the 40, the
40,
the
yeah,
48,
48, the orange.
which one? Which one in the tree?
I'll say the second one.
Chael.
Mm-hmm.
Chael. Is that the name? Oh no, it's all Chael.
So
Good
if
brains, okay.
if the people who really want to go PvP only, I would suggest the orange or blue.
Orange tree or blue tree. Okay, let's talk about this orange tree real quick then. Why the orange tree? This effect ignores all evasion and so this skill. Okay, I got you.
That skill is really OP.
So this skill stuns the target and ignores all iframes and invincibility frames and all that stuff that the target would be using. So if the target's dashing, it ignores the dash iframe and hits him with it, right? Gotcha.
And orange 33 is OP too.
Orange 33. Okay. What is that? Which one?
Second one and third one.
Second
one, if you CC, he get dot damage.
Oh, okay. The last one, targets are affected by incapacitated effects. Increase the cooldown time of all skills by 100%.
That's pretty much OP too.
Jesus.
Because Sin has to be like I have a 30% cooldown, but if someone using that one, my cooldown is like useless.
Yeah.
So I would say if you really want to go PvP, I would suggest 48 orange or 48 blue.
Okay. Let's talk about 48 blue. Which one in 48 blue?
48 blue is everything's pretty much okay.
Everything's okay.
Yeah, but Slayer, I'm pretty sure who wants to play Slayer, there should be go 48 blue with the second one.
Okay.
Second one is really OP.
If you are hit with 10% health remaining, you become immortal for 7. Are these skills the same for every single class?
Yep.
Okay, so this is universal. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
If you're hit with 10% health remaining, you become immortal for 7 seconds, increasing damage dealt by 50% and not dying. So this is literally, if you've played Revelation Online, this is literally the Blade Master's skill that they had. Now, on top of this, you also have your ult that's on a 1.5 minute cooldown on Slayer. That also gives you 90% damage reduction that you could use when you're at when you're at low health, right?
Yep.
And you get 30% extra attack, you have ridiculous attack speed, you take 90% reduced damage, and you heal 30% of your HP back. So that on top of this trait right here, like, okay, so we're gonna get to Slayer here in a second, but I assume that this and the ult that Slayers have is a big reason why they're so strong. Is that true?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now, okay, we'll get to Slayer here in a sec, but okay, so Elementalist. Okay, so if you spec pure PvP and you spec it well and you have the gear, like where would you put Elementalist? I mean, are they still just mid tier?
For the orange tree, PP is I'll play tier 1.
Okay.
But there should be people who just farming, right? Just bossing. I'll say tier 3.
Okay, so
for the PvP.
If they are spec for PvP and they're spec orange, then you would consider them top tier at PvP.
Yeah.
For open world or for arena?
Arena and open world.
Both. So Ellies are just really strong across the board. Because you never really hear people talking about how strong Elementalists are in PvP. Well, in the West at least.
Yeah, I mean, I know there's a 2 guy using orange, 48 orange, and really good.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. I mean, looking at the arena ranking, there's literally 4 people here in the top 17 compared to 1 Slayer. So I mean, that's just currently right now. These get reset every week, though, right?
Yeah. But I'll also just watch the Honor 3 versus 3, because like this depends only like no live gamer.
Okay, gotcha. What is the Honor? Wait, is Honor 3v3 is it balanced?
Not the balance, but if you want to see who is really good, you can just see the Honor 3 versus 3, because all the competitive players are playing Honor 3 versus 3. Like
Okay.
all these people have all the gear, all the PvP gear, all the PvE gear, and they spend on lots and lots of money. So if you see the top one, there's 2 Slayer, 1 Warlord. That's why I'm saying the Warlord and Slayer is really OP in the PvP. See?
Yeah. So we have Slayer, Warlord, Gunner, Mystic, Assassin, Warlord, Assassin, Mystic, Ellie, Gunner,
Yep.
Warlord, Mystic, Warlord.
And all those people are kinds of pre-made, so
Gotcha. Okay. So this is really good. What about, okay, so, all right, so I feel like that's pretty fair for Ellie. What about Mystic? Let's talk about Mystic.
I hope Vizu is here because he was playing Mystic, but I haven't played Mystic. But
Okay.
for this season, there's a one skill, like just putting the poison on the ground, and that skill get buffed like double.
Really?
Yeah, and all the separate tree is like shield and dot damage, and that makes Mystic as a kind of god tier. For my opinion, Mystic, open world, I would just say tier 2.
Tier 2?
Or-
Tier
yeah,
2 as
or
in
bot-
like tier 1 is the best, tier 2 is like second best?
Second best, yeah.
Okay.
And I'll say bossing and grinding. I'll say bossing tier 1.5. Grinding also 1.5. Because Elementalist, I'll say tier 1.
Elementalist you have at tier 1.
Yeah.
I'm sorry,
P-
with PvP?
No, the Mystic is a farming, a grinding, and the bossing.
Okay.
1.5.
So,
And
gotcha.
yeah.
Okay.
And PvP, I'll say tier 2 in the arena.
Okay, so you have Ellie at tier 1 for PvE farming.
Mm-hmm.
You have Ellie at tier what for PvP? Like if you're spec'd into PvP, you have them at tier 1 for arena PvP, right?
Yep, with the 48 orange.
Right, assuming that you have the meta spec, okay? Open world PvP, you had them at tier 2 or tier 1?
Yep.
Still tier 1?
I'll say tier 1. I'll say tier 1.
Assuming they're spec PvP, even still for open world. Like, okay, so tier 1 for open world. Okay, so they're tier 1 across the board. Gotcha. Okay, so hold on. Let's just backtrack real quick. Assassin, you had at tier what for PvE? It was the bottom tier, right? So that would be
PvE for the grinding. I'll say bottom tier.
okay.
And the
then-
boss damage, I'll say tier 3, maybe. Yeah, tier 3.
Okay, what was Ellie's boss damage? Tier 1.
Boss tier 1.
Okay, what about tier 3 boss damage for Assassin? Tier 1 for open world, right?
Yep.
PvP.
Mm-hmm.
And bottom tier for arena, right?
Yep.
All right, Gunner. You said what would you put Gunner then? PvE.
PvE. I'll say. Gunner's pretty much same as Mystic. For grinding.
Okay, which was tier.
Which was tier. I'll say tier 2. For
tier
grinding.
2.
Tier 2.
Tier 2 for grinding.
Mm-hmm. And tier 5 as bossing.
Tier 5 for boss.
Yep.
Okay.
And
Open
for
world.
PP, open world, I'll say tier 2.
And arena.
Arena tier 4.
Okay, gotcha. So tier 5 is the worst, right?
Yeah, it's the worst.
So assassin tier 5 for arena too, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Boss damage, open world, arena, boss grinding. Okay. Mystic. Let's back to Mystic. Mystic, you have them at what do you have Mystic at? Grinding?
Grinding.
Tier 2?
Yep, tier 2. But slightly better than Gunner.
Okay, tier 2, high tier 2, okay. Boss grinding? Boss
Grinding, I'll say
damage?
tier 2.
Tier 2, okay. Open world, PvP.
Open world. Maybe
I'll have it written up.
I'll say tier 3 because I'm pretty sure people just playing Mystic because they think that class is healer, right? So
Right.
I don't think people want to open world PvP as a Mystic, so I'll just say tier 3.
Okay, but if they were spec'd into PvP, what would you rate them? If they're spec'd for PvP?
Tier 3.
Tier 3 for open world. Okay, all right. In arena, tier 1.
I'll say tier 2.
Tier 2 for arena. So you would say Elementalist, when spec for PvP, is actually better than Mystic in arena?
For the 48 orange, yes.
With 48 orange. With 48 orange. It's a big exclamation, that 48 orange. Okay, fair. Okay.
But I'm so worried about like people are like considering their classes, right? And if I say like tier list, but I mean, like I'm not right, so I'm just telling what I'm feeling. Yeah, my opinion. I just experiences. I just played this game like since opening, so
yeah.
Don't bother to choose the class because I'm not thinking this class is fucking garbage like that. Just pick your class and play it, and I'm pretty sure they're gonna balance a lot, so don't worry about it.
Yeah, for sure. Which is why I want to actually kind of talk about a little bit what makes them strong, what makes them weak, right? So let's go back to Ellie. I know we're bouncing around. I'll organize this, but just real quick about Ellie again. What would you say makes Ellie strong and weak? Like what would you say is the characteristics? Like just damage straight up?
Ellie has a high damage as a PvP because even Warlord and Slayer has a lots of physical like defense, but they have a lower magical defense, and Ellie has really great CC. And they have immune. They have the skill immune, and you can spam the skill in there.
So you don't get CC'd, anti-CC immunities. Okay, so high damage, high CC, good immunities, mobility, good mobility too.
Good mobility too. But it has a lower HP, I would say.
Okay, so that's the weakness. The weakness is just low HP, low defense.
So like Warlord, Slayer could one shot.
They can one-shot him. Okay, gotcha. Okay, what about Mystic? Pros and cons for Mystic? Yes, we do, Zendi.
I haven't played Mystic, but for my opinion, I think there's a two style of Mystic. One is kind of defense, and one is kind of attacker. And I think both is fine, but I'll say we also need to consider of the GBG, right? The guild versus guild.
Sure.
Yeah, and I think defense Mystic is better.
Okay, so the pros for a Mystic would be you can have really good heals, you can have really good defense, Really good damage output too, right? Not like, but like it would be like dot damage, right? It's like high dot damage.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so high dot damage and zoning, obviously.
Zoning is the zoning makes the Mystic as the best tier in the GBG, because
gotcha.
for the GBG you have to get the specific zone to win. But if you're spamming the poison like grinding skill in the zone, people couldn't touch it.
Gotcha. Wow, that's really important. Because I heard the Guild vs Guild is kind of like a capture the flag type of system, right?
Yep.
Gotcha. Okay, so what are the weaknesses? What would you say the weaknesses are for Mystic, though?
For Mystic, I heard Mystic player is kind of boring, cause like that's for now it's like a one trick. And for weakness, let me see.
One trick pony, gotcha. Okay.
Honestly, I couldn't find the weak.
Really?
Mystic
Okay.
The weakness.
No real weaknesses. Okay, that's cool. All right. Well, I think we got everything now, other than Warlord and Slayer, right? Yeah.
Okay.
So let's fucking talk about that. Okay. So Slayer.
Okay.
So Slayer, give it to me. Okay. So let's talk about the tiers. PVE farming and boss farming. What would you tier him?
PVE farming. PVE farming. I would say tier 3, maybe. Yes, tier 3.
Tier 3 PVE farming. Okay.
If you're Slayer, right?
I am a Slayer. Yes.
Yeah. If can you go to skill?
Yeah. Like I was told that all the skills like Slayer, you need a lot of the 60 plus skills. Yeah.
If you want to, I'm pretty sure if you want to play Slayer, you need a lot of skill point.
Right.
Rather than the other classes.
Gotcha.
And it go down. There's one skill is really OP for the grinding.
I think it's the pull, right? Is it the pull?
Yeah, the pull one.
Yeah.
Where is it? Oh, the heavy sword.
Yeah, right here.
Heavy sword, yeah. That makes Slayer as a like easiest grinding.
Okay, so if the Slayer has every skill at his disposal and skill points aren't an issue, are they still tier 3 at PvE farming?
Yep, because I'm pretty sure they're good, but worse than the Mystic and the Elementalist.
They're good, but not as good as Mystic and Elyon. Okay. Okay. So tier 3. Okay. So you would say Gunner is actually better for grinding than Slayer?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Because Slayer only depends like if you're spamming that skill on the wall, it doesn't proc.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, makes sense.
The Gunners are really good at like every spot, but Slayer has a limit spot to grinding.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean?
Gotcha. Makes perfect sense. What about boss damage?
Boss damage. This is the problem. I mean, I saw lots of Slayer, but only few Slayer really good at bossing. Okay. But I don't know how they're doing it.
So we'll just say lower tier for now for the boss damage, I guess?
Yeah, because most Slayer couldn't do damage. But I only know the few player do like a high damage, so I'll say same as Assassin, tier 3.
Alright. What about open world PvP?
Open world PvP, I'll say tier 2.
Tier 2 open world PvP.
Because their mobility is not that good.
Okay. Okay, gotcha. And arena tier 1, right?
1.5. I'll say tier 1 as a Warlord.
Gotcha. Tier 1. So Warlord is clearly above everyone else, right?
Yep. Right now.
Gotcha. Okay, so real quick, do you about the skill points? So skill points, like if for example, as a Slayer, if you need more skill points as a Slayer, like yeah, it's more difficult to get all the skill points that you need. But are you like are you handicapped in any way? Like because skill points, a lot of your skill points come from your runes, right? Like your runes.
Yep, true.
So do you have to like sacrifice other stats to get skill points, or is there any sacrifice that you have to make to get more skill points, or no?
You're bringing a really good point. So if you really want, I mean, all the PvP player has a low accuracy. If you see like all the PvP player mostly has like 43 or 60 accuracy because they give up their accuracy.
Right. Okay. They give up their accuracy to get the skill points.
Yep.
Wow. Okay. Holy shit.
Because accuracy is not that important in PvP, so they just sacrifice accuracy. Yeah. They just sacrifice accuracy and just get the extra skill point.
Okay. So if it's not that important, so they'll have two sets. Obviously, they'll have a lot of accuracy.
Yep, they have a two set.
Okay, so well then what? Okay, that makes sense. Gotcha.
Oh, cause of the Elyon, there's if you see the skill, there should be a transcendent skill and ignore evasion. So accuracy is not that important.
Okay, so there's no like counter stat to accuracy in this game, like evasion stat that you can't.
Not really.
Not really. Okay. Gotcha. Is there an actual evasion stat, or is it?
Oh, there's an actual evasion stat,
but it's not really significant. It doesn't scale. Okay, gotcha.
There's a 2 friend make like over 300 evasion, but it's not worth it, they said.
Oh, really? Gotcha. Wow, so Slayers have very low accuracy at high-end PvP. That's very interesting. They do that to get the skill points.
I'm pretty sure every like PvPer has a low accuracy, because I also have like 70 accuracy when I PvP.
Okay, 70 would be okay. Gotcha. Okay, what so overall general pros for Slayer then would be what? Well, how would you classify their not damage, their what makes them stand out, what their strengths are?
The strengths, they're really tanky and really strong, and they have a lot of CC. As I said, Warlord, Slayer, Gunner could do wombo combo, right? So
yes, so they have very good combo potential.
Very big combo potential, holding. So if you go to GVG right now, it depends how many Slayer in your team.
How many Slayers and Warlords, or just Slayers?
Slayer, Warlord, definitely. Slayer, Warlord, Mystic. So for the GVG right now, it depends how many Slayer, Warlord, Mystic in your team.
Wow. Okay.
That makes which guild is winning.
So they're strong because they're tanky. They have a lot of CC, and they have a lot of
rage mode,
burst damage. I'm sorry.
They have a rage mode as a tap skill.
Rage mode? What's
rage mode? If you lower than 10% HP, you can use the tap skill, right?
Oh,
which is
90%
damage reduction.
The ultimate,
gotcha. That one is really OP.
Gotcha. Okay, so they're strong. They have they're very tanky, high burst damage, a lot of CC. Their ult skill is really strong, so they have very good defense too, right? Survivability, yeah. And that's what makes them.
I'll say the weakness is like mobility. Yeah, I'll say mobility is the only weakness.
What about speed? Because they feel very clunky, especially early game. Okay, speed. Gotcha. Okay, so now let's talk about the Beast Warlord. All right. So pros and cons for Warlord.
Have you played the League of Legends?
I'm familiar, but I haven't personally played. No.
I'm pretty sure.
It's okay. You can use a league reference. It's fine.
Have you heard the Blitzcrank?
No, but go ahead. I'm not a league player, but yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah. I'll say as right now the Warlord It's like full item Blitzcrank.
Full item
Blitzcrank.
blue shrink. Blue
The blue.
Blue-
Type it.
the little
Blitzcrank.
Blitzcrank. Gotcha. Sorry, I don't play low. Okay, so it's a full item Blitzcrank is pretty much what a Warlord is.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and what is that? What does Blitz do?
Right now,
Champ that
they
pulls?
buff the water skill, which is pull,
Okay.
and that's a transcendent skill, so you can't miss. They just pull everyone. Even you're doing evasion
Okay.
skill, even you're in the immune in the wall, they just pull it out and do silence and just smashing.
Wow. Okay. So Transit's pull skill that can't miss, that CCs.
Yep.
Okay, so let's say the general pros is damage, mobility, utility, defense, survivability, everything, right? Just everything, right?
Mobility. I think only weakness in mobility, but in GBG and the arena, the space is really limit. So for that, there's no weakness.
Right, because you don't in arenas and GVGs you don't really need that mobility. Gotcha.
Yep.
So the mobility, so the cons that they do have is, in comparison to the other classes, is a little bit of mobility. It's not even that they're bad with mobility. It's just comparatively speaking, they're not as good.
Yep.
Right? Is that fair?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. The pros is that they can do everything. Right?
Yep.
Okay. All right. So we're rolling a Warlord. Okay. So all right. PVE farming. What's the tier?
PVE farming, I'll say. tier 4, tier 3 or 4. But
PVE farming tier 3. A lot of people say it was like top tier 1.
Tier 1, but I mean, it depends. I mean, compared to other like Elementalist, Mystic, and if you loot, Mystic Elementalist has more gold.
Really?
I know some people say Warlord is OP, but I mean I have experience with the top Warlord players. They're saying like they're not good as like Elementalist or Mystic, but they're still okay. So I'll just say tier 3.
So it's tier 3 because tier 1 is clearly Elementalist and tier 2 is clearly Mystic. So that's why you're putting them at tier 3. So it's like it is the third best class. Would you say it's like the third best? It's up or tied for third at the very least.
I think it's kind of same as Gunner.
Mm-hmm. Pretty similar to Gunner. Okay.
Yeah, pretty similar to Gunner.
Okay. So you've had experience personally, and you know top warlords, some of the best warlords, and they say that yeah, we are warlords. We are pretty good at PVE farming, but we're actually not that good when you're comparing us to Elementalist and Mystic right now. Is that correct? Is that what you're trying to say?
I mean, I'm not saying like there's a huge difference, but I mean they're
Right.
still okay. But Elementalist and the Mystic is pretty much okay. The reason I'm saying like Warlord is a top tier 3 because they need to use a skill. They need to like they need to use the pre-skill to like doing it. But the Mystic Elementalist, they don't need it. They just like spam the one skill and they just kill everyone. That's why I'm saying the Warlord is a tier 3.
Okay, gotcha. What about comparatively speaking to Mystic? What makes Mystic's grind
Really faster?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure people like Mystic probably have a hard time grinding until like 43, 42.
Mm-hmm.
But after that, there's a skill. You can just spamming the one trick and you just kill every mobs.
Okay.
That's why I'm saying that like Mystic is kind of tier 2.
Gotcha. What's that skill? Is that the projectile skill where you aim down and then all the projectiles hit?
There's a 2 skill. I'm pretty sure all the Mystic are using it. The 1 skill is like a light ball, just spamming light ball. And just kill everyone. And the second one is the poison dot.
Poison dot and light ball. Okay. 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 Well, yeah. All right. So tier 3 farming. Boss damage.
Warlord, right?
Yes, Warlord.
I would say tier 4.
Tier 4 boss damage. Okay.
But the point is, Warlord has a lot of debuff. So if you bring the Warlord in the bossing, all the DPS is increased like double. So I'll say the tier 4, but it's like god tier. So you need Warlord as a boss damage.
Wait. Tier 4 is god tier?
I mean, as a support. I mean, if you like solo bossing or something, I would say tier 4. But you need Warlord as the bossing because they have a lot of debuff, buff.
Gotcha.
To increase all the party damage.
So solo, they're tier 4, but in group, in a group, they're tier 1 because of their support with buff debuffs. Is that correct? Gotcha. Okay. All right. Now let's talk about that PvP. Open world.
Open world. I'll say 1.5.
1.5. Okay.
Yeah, because of the
mobility.
Yeah, the mobility.
And tier 1, obviously. Like Warlord tier for Warlord, right? For arena.
Yeah.
For the obvious reasons. Okay, cool. So, all right. Well, that's awesome. If you don't mind, I would like to actually chop this up, maybe upload a raw version, but also like an edited version based off of this, if you don't mind. Okay. I think a lot of people would like to know. As far as you personally, I know you were talking about. You mentioned your ranking earlier. I think you said you're ranked 12th in the honor.
Yeah,
are you ranked 12th in honor?
Yeah, still in the leaderboard.
You're still on the leaderboard. Okay, so
yeah, this is my ID.
Okay. Sarinja?
No, the Jinx. 13.
Jinx?
I just failed. Yeah, I just
just
sold all my item.
Okay. So Jinx. All right. What was your highest arena rating? Would you say? As an assassin, yeah. Because the arena ratings change every week.
Like 3 versus 3.
Yeah, 3 versus 3.
3 versus 3. I was top 7 when I just played. Yeah, when I just play arena.
Okay, that was season 1.
That was
season 2
for current season. Yeah.
Oh wow.
I mean, I don't play that much. I mean, I have a work, so I couldn't play like all those people who are PvPing.
That's fair. What's your item level?
Item level, I was like 640 something. I wasn't that high.
Wasn't too high.
Yeah, also people has a 700, right?
Yeah, right now, yeah, there's quite
700. Maybe my
people.
item level is like a 250 or 200, right? But as I'm saying, I'm like 240 or 235 something. I'm still doable to do PvPing with those people.
Right.
So I'm saying people are worried about the pay to win, right? All these people over the 700, they just pay to win a lot. But it's still doable. So
even at 200 item level lower, you were able to beat them and compete with them.
I'll say 100.
100. So you can compete within 100.
Yep.
Gotcha. That makes sense. Okay. Okay. Perfect. How much? Do you mind me asking how much you've spent on this game?
I spent as a dollar, right? I spent $200.
$200.
So I spent cosmetic
on cosmetics.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cosmetic.
All on cosmetics?
Cosmetic and the Lumistone. I mean,
Luminous.
a luminous.
Yeah.
There's a if you press the L, there's a luminous.
Yeah. We're all familiar with the Luminous. A lot of people
Okay.
are crying about the
I would
Luminous.
say only pay to win for this game is luminous.
Is Luminous. Okay. But I've been told you can even get the best Luminous just being patient.
Yeah. I mean, I only spent like $90, but I have two 5 stars.
You've spent $90 on Luminous and you have 2 5 stars. Wow. Okay. All right. So you spent $200 total on this game in the 4 months that it's been out. Did you play since launch? I take it. Okay. In the 4 months that it's been out, you've spent $200 and you're top 12 ranked, top 13 now. Well, top 12 in performance, right? In the honor score, which is the main leaderboard that everyone cares about. You reached top 7 on the arena boards. I mean, I think that's pretty good.
Yes, I mean, it's free to play. I mean, if I only focus the honor point, I might be higher, but I start focusing on the honor point like in January, so I didn't care like the honor point. What's the honor point benefit? I mean, is it good to gain the honor point? I didn't know it, so I started grinding honor point like mid of the January.
Right, gotcha. And just to clarify, right? So I feel like this question or this comment I should respond to just for the sake of the video. But yeah, obviously people value different things with the rankings. I mean, some people are going to value arena more, item level more, honor score, whatever that may be. But the vast majority of the Koreans, when they talk about ranking, if they just say, "Hey, I'm ranked top 30," most of the time they're referring to the honor score, right? Like that's the honor score is what most people consider as the more prestigious, like, status type of ranking, right? I mean, this is just Korea. It could be different in the West, but in Korea, that's pretty much what the vast majority of people are talking about when it comes to being ranked, right?
Yeah, and but I don't know. The honor point actually reset from the time to time. They said honor point might be reset like every season, but the season changed, but they didn't reset. So I might say maybe 6 months.
Gotcha. And you were ranked 14th in the previous season.
So like maybe every 6 months they're gonna reset, but I'm not sure.
Gotcha. That makes sense.
No, this is the current season.
Yeah, that's the current season. Previous season, it shows you're at 14, at 6,800, almost 6,900, 69,000 rather. Current season. So the current season's almost over pretty soon then, huh? Looks like the points are getting pretty close.
So the reason why people are focusing the honor point, if you see the reward at the left bottom, can you click it? So this is the reward. So commander-in-chief, commander, corps commander, deputy commander, they could be robot. They have an extra stat. They can kill everyone with those robots. So lots of people just focusing on that.
Right. Yeah. They want to beat the robot. Yeah. We've talked about that before. That's pretty. Yeah. It sounded pretty insane. Gotcha. That makes sense. Perfect. Well, thanks, man. I appreciate it. I think that was a lot of information I got. I'm definitely gonna use this as content if you don't mind. And yeah, do you stream or do you do any content that we can follow?
No, I don't stream.
You don't? Okay, because like I feel like you would have definitely a really good following right now with how hyped this game is in the West right now. And if you speak English as well as you do, I don't think there's anyone else that would be able to communicate with. You know, I mean, I guess Blue. There's a guy named Blue that used to stream BDO. He's really knowledgeable too.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, I guess if you did, I was gonna give you a plug and tell everyone to go follow your channels. But
might be. If I play any, I might stream it, but I'm not sure. So
okay, well, if you would like a key, I can give you a key to close beta.
No, I have a key.
Oh, you have one already. Okay, that's cool.
I have one.
That's awesome. And you live in Korea here, right?
No, I live in New York.
Oh, you live in the States?
Yeah.
Oh.
I was playing this game like with the 200 ping with the.
So so the arena ranking of top 7 that was from. Wow. Okay. Jesus, with high ping. Okay, so let me ask you this: how ping friendly is this game?
The only matter for the ping was Sin versus Sin.
Sin versus Sin.
That was the hardest to beat it, for my opinion. For PvP with the 200 ping is doable.
Very doable. Wow. Okay. Wow. That's very encouraging to hear, especially because I'm gonna be playing with higher ping. Oh, random question, real quick. Let's get some questions in chat if you don't mind. And one of the questions that we did have, Heidel, he's been asking this for a while. Can you read the chat from the opposing faction in World Chat?
World Chat? What is that? Oh, no.
No, you can't? Okay, you can't. Okay. Okay. Actually, you know what? We'll probably save the questions for later. I think some of the guys want to go ahead and go with this event here, but I do appreciate you coming in and chatting with me. That's awesome. I'm definitely gonna upload this. If you're obviously in our Discord, you're more than welcome to join us for closed beta, man. I appreciate your time, dude.
Yeah, I'm really glad you guys are really exciting for this game. As I experienced, this game is really awesome. This game is really fun to play, actually. I mean, maybe this game is the first game of the PvP based game I have played. So I hope you guys enjoy it. If you have a question, you can free to ask for the Discord. Can I just type in Discord in here?
Yeah, of course. Go for it. I'm gonna join it myself. Yeah,
this is my Discord. So if you guys really want to ask something, free to ask. I hope you guys have a wonderful day.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it. Dex, is it?
Mm-hmm.
All right, awesome. All right, hold on. We have one. Yeah, sure. Go ahead. Last question.
You guys' question. Yeah.
Yeah. Shit. So while he's doing it, looking at this tab.
5 missing in open PvP. Why is it tier 3? In open world. Cause as I said, the open world is for the Sin and Gunner or Elementalist, they can just run. If you couldn't beat it, they can just run. For Mystic, they have a low mobility, but the honor is from open world, right? Yeah, mostly open world. There's a limit. You can gain 500 honor point in an open world in a day. So there are lots of killing. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, you're gonna get a lot of attention, man.
That's true.
Yeah. Well, shit, man. I really appreciate it. I hope you stick around our Discord.
Oh yeah, and one thing, even I say like Gunner is not like really bad tier, like bossing or tier 4 or something like that, but when the game release, I'm gonna play Gunner. So even I say like Gunner has a lowest tier, but I'm still gonna play it. So I'm not gonna play Sin, but because I want to try the new thing, but I'm gonna play Gunner. So it's up to you guys. Even I say Warlord and Slayer, Mystic is a god tier, Elementalist is god tier. Don't bother it. Everything is really fun, and they're gonna balance it. So
yeah, that's a good point, and I feel like this is a good note to end on. Like, despite having these tier lists, I don't think that there's any class that's actually, I mean, just because it's the bottom tier doesn't necessarily mean, even if we're talking about performance right now, just because it's in the bottom, just because, you think it's maybe in the bottom tier, doesn't mean it's trash. It's still pretty close, right?
Yeah,
it's still pretty close.
It's not the trash.
Yeah, for sure. Well, thanks, man. I hope you, well, thanks for sticking around our Discord. I hope you stick around for longer so I can keep picking your brain. But, yeah, man, thank you very much, dude. That was, very helpful. And I think what we're going to do now is, I think I'm going to go ahead and end the stream. I have 2 keys to give away. I owe you guys two keys. So what we'll do is we're going to give the 2 key giveaway. We'll pick 2 winners, and then we'll throw a raid to someone, and then call it a night. All right, awesome. Thanks.
Thank you. See you guys later.
See you, dude.